Selfless or self/less, given that they're the ones who put a stupid bloody slash in the middle of their own title, is directed by Tarsem Singh and stars Sir Ben Kingsley, Ryan Reynolds, Matthew Good, and Natalie Martinez. Damien, played by Kingsley, is a multi-billionaire businessman who is terminally ill and who transfers his consciousness from his dying body to that of a younger, healthier body, played by Ryan Reynolds. It is only once the transfer is completed and once he begins to experience flashbacks of apparently a previous life that he realizes things aren't what they seem. And he goes in search of answers for the origins of the company and for what the procedure actually was and where things start to unravel for him. Now, this film promises a lot. It really does. Unfortunately, it doesn't deliver on it properly or fully. The trailer for it's really great. I mean, it builds up this potential fight between the two consciousnesses in one body, essentially, that of Damien and Mark, Kingsley and Ryan Reynolds. Unfortunately, that just doesn't happen. I wish it did, but it just doesn't, really. The two consciousnesses aren't fighting each other actively at all. It would have made for a far more interesting film if they had really gone into that, into the psychology of it all, and into the two different minds, different consciousnesses, really fighting against each other. But it simply isn't that kind of film. And in the end, it essentially degenerates into just being a bog standard action thriller, which was a real disappointment. My main feeling coming out of the film was actually that I wish someone else had directed it. Someone like Christopher Nolan, who's proven with stuff like Inception, which I just think is one of the best films ever made. But it perfectly blends the sci-fi elements of things with the action thriller elements of things. It focuses far too much on the action thriller side of thing, where the really good core idea that they had, and they do have such a good core idea with this film, kind of gets forgotten about. This director, Tarsem Singh, from what I can work out, hasn't actually done that much feature film directing. The biggest one that I've seen that he has done is Immortals, which essentially took Greek gods and went, oh, that's nice. Right, let's have another action film. You know, he throws away a really interesting core concept and just does an action film. And it's kind of what he's done here. It also doesn't help that I know it's a film which has as its main core thing the transfer of consciousness between bodies, but you need some major suspension of disbelief at different times in this film. You can also see every plot twist coming from a mile away, and I'm really not kidding on that. The plot twists, they just, yeah, they work as twists, but they're so bloody obvious. I know I am crapping on this film, and it deserves it, frankly, because it could have been so much more than it was. It is a real wasted opportunity. It does do some things well. The action scenes are pretty good, and all the performances. There isn't a bad performance in the film. Ben Kingsley doesn't have anything to do. Matthew Good doesn't have anything to really do. But Natalie Martinez and Ryan Reynolds work well together, and Ryan Reynolds is the standout in the film. He's not amazing, but he is good. I am a fan of Ryan Reynolds, and I think he shows, again, more depth as he progresses through his career. This is another one. He has a lot of interesting films. He's done voices, he's done this. He's not just a typical Hollywood action star, and I can respect that. And this is showing a little bit more depth again. This is an average to decent film, but it could have been a really great film. As I've said before, it is a serious missed opportunity, I think. And that is my biggest problem with it. Thank you for listening to my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And of course, feel free to like the video or subscribe.